Hello again, lovelies, and welcome to another episode of Reflections with Edna. I'd like to start by thanking you all for the love that you showed me with the very first episode. Thank you, I am grateful and humbled, and I really can't wait to see where this goes. Today, I want to talk about identifying strengths and weaknesses. Now, I personally believe that each and every one of us was blessed with different gifts and talents, and it is how we choose to embrace and portray them that sets us apart and makes us different from others. Through personal experience, I have learned that identifying my personal strengths and weaknesses has greatly contributed to the person that I am becoming. Identifying strengths and weaknesses is easier said than done for most, but believe me when I say that it is one of the most rewarding experiences that you can go through in your life. When you know who you are and what it is that makes you you, then it becomes very easy for you to set clear life goals. Now, identifying strengths and weaknesses has no particular formula. Just like life has no set formula, this doesn't have a particular formula. Some people prefer to pray about it, others meditate, while some decide that they want to go on retreats to decide what it is their purpose is in life or where their strengths and weaknesses lie. And that is perfectly fine. Everyone is different and everyone is on their own kind of journey. But I wanted to share some of the things that I have done for myself in discovering who I am and understanding what my strengths and weaknesses are. One of the things I decided to do was to pray about it because God is my G and He has all the answers. I believe in God, He has all my answers, and I pray to Him first. But I also decided to take a proactive route, and I made 3 lists. One of the lists has my strengths, things that I'm great at, things that you could wake me up in the middle of the night and I'd be able to do almost effortlessly. The second list has the things that I am weak at, the things that need practice and more of my time to do to make better. The third list has things that I absolutely positively have no control over. Doesn't matter how many times I pray or how many things I do or how much time I put into those things, they'll just never change. And that's also okay, so I made a list for that as well. Now, after making those lists, I decided to put the first 2, the ones that I'm great at and not so great at, side by side, and I decided that it was time to allocate or schedule time in my day to practice these things, especially the things that I'm not very good at, which are my weaknesses. Some of the weaknesses are also double on the list of things that I can't control, but that's fine. I practice the weaknesses that I can control and those that I want to make better, because I believe that practice makes perfect. So yes, I schedule time in my day I literally schedule time in my day. I have a timetable that has time for my schoolwork, time for my life, and time to put into practice these weaknesses or these things that I don't do so well. And it has done tremendously for me. Part of the results of my little efforts have me sitting here in front of this camera and starting Reflections with Edna. It is something that has been on my list for a very long time and is finally beginning to show fruit. I must say that the journey to discovering what it is your strengths and weaknesses are requires a lot of self-determination, a lot of self-discipline, but mostly a lot of self-kindness. You have got to be kind and patient with yourself because it is not something easy and it's not something that's supposed to be rushed. And it's not something that happens overnight. I started on this journey about a year ago, and I'm still on it every day. Every day I'm upgrading these lists. Every day I'm moving something from the weakness list to the strength list, and it's all because I decided to put in time to work on it. I decided to treat it as a priority. So that's how I've been able to handle that situation, and it is something that I implore you to do. If my process helps you at all, please follow it. I promise you that it will be one of the most satisfying things that you have ever done. It's also a very brave thing to do, because not so many people want to go on to the journey of discovering themselves and understanding what it is that makes it better. But you can do it, and anyone can do it. It just takes a little bit more work and effort, but it is worth it almost always, and I can guarantee that. So with that said, I'd like to thank you so much for being a part of this episode today, and please remember to tune in again for Reflections with Edna. Until then, stay blessed, love and light.